Hello friends, my name is Kari. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode 142. Hello friends, welcome. Happy Flosstube midweek ramble for you. I am coming to you midweek. Last Friday was bonkers. This Friday, we'll see what I have, but I couldn't wait to come back with you and fill you in on all the fun making goodness I have been up to since last time we chatted. As I love to do, let's go ahead and just dive right into what today's episode is going to include. I've got new little Stitchy whip update. We're going to talk about my new start that is upcoming. We've got some yarn fun, some haul, some progress. I've got my new make on, we'll chat about it. And then we'll also have a little bit of Tiger Lily, what's coming up in the world of Tiger Lily, both shop-wise as well as personal-wise. We'll leave that update for the end, just in case that's not your jam. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the stitching, shall we? Okay, so friends, as you know, as I chatted about last week, I haven't really circled in on what my 2026 Stitchy goals are going to be, and I'm okay with it. I feel like they're organically going to come together as they do. But in the meantime, I need to stitch every day. I love to make every day, whether it's stitching or knitting or quilting or all three. My brain, it's like my relaxation. I need to do something every day. So for Christmas this year, I was gifted a very, very special gift, and I hadn't had the opportunity to use it yet. Let me show it to you. Now, this is the All About the Wood stand. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a link right here. I'm going to put a link in my website or down in the description box down below for the video where Shelly, Antique Needleworkers, goes into in-depth description, all the things about how fabulous this lap stand is. Now, if you know, I am a stitch in hand. I still do, don't get me wrong. Stitch in hand. Stitch in hand. So I have a hoop. I leave my hoop very loose, and I would stitch in hand with my 6-inch queen hoop. It was my Ride or Die jam. Now, Shelly was telling me she is learning and loving. It's not learning. She knew how to do it, but she's really embracing the two-hand stitching. And I was like, that seems like a lot. And so we had many conversations in the fall about how you do it, the mechanics, the learning, dominant hand on top, dominant hand on bottom, which way do you do, all the things. And she said, you just have to have this. You just have to have it to try it. And like I said, she'll tell you how it's an adjustable and it does all these things. She has an affiliate link, I think she does. Like I said, I will link her video down below. I definitely go to her. She is the expert on this. I've used it for a week, so I am by no means an expert. But what's interesting is I had a scroll rod, one scroll rod. I was gifted another one, but I had a scroll rod and I had a project on the scroll rod. Let's see. Hold on. This is what my project bag is. I love this. I need to put this on my to-do list for 2026 video tutorials. By the way, link down below, comment, whatever you want to do. The best way is to email me or comment in Patreon, which is where I'm super, super active and I love chatting to you guys. I'm not the best at YouTube comments, but either way, this is one of those tea towels from Hands Across the Sea that I made into a project bag. Let me know. I'm making a list. I'm making a master list. We'll talk more about 2026 and Tiger Lily and all the things. I'm making a master list of video tutorials, video questions, video things that you guys have been asking me for, asking me about. I love to teach you guys how to do things, right? And so that was one of the ones that I know that I've shown before. And you guys have asked, like, you got to show us how to do it. And I definitely will. It's on the list. But as we're talking about it, if there's anything else that you've ever seen that I have made that you're like, ooh, I want to know how to do it, let me know and I will add it to the master list. Anyway, back to the stitching. Okay, so heartstring samplery, consider the lilies. This is a big girl that I started. Pretty sure I have a tracker card. Let's see. Sure don't. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's in here. Yes, okay, good. This is the bag that I keep my silk floss. So I am doing Consider the Lilies, and I am using the Vicki Clayton silk conversion. And I put it on the Adam Heart floss drops that were the exclusive hearts from the Advent box in 2024. And so I love that. But I like to keep my silks in a separate bag just so they kind of minimize the fuzzy and the contact. So this is a bag either from the Advent. This is from a Keeper Club or an Advent box, Tiger Lily exclusive, fun bag. I put in there. And in that, I don't have a start date. What's the point of a tracker card if I don't fill it out? Well, here's my tracker card. It's got some of the information. Consider the Lily's Heartstring Samplery 40 count Lakeside Chantilly Cream. That's the linen I am using. This is a 435 by 363. This is a big girl plus big girl. So fun. Like I said, using the Vicki Clayton silks. I could go back and look at some of my Instagrams and or floss tubes from 2025 to figure out exactly when I started it. I started it springtime-ish. One of my sweet friends, subscribers, friends, I'm not a friend, was able to source this paper chart for me before she reprinted it in August or September of last year. So you should be able to get your hands on this chart. I will have a link to a couple shops down below if I can find it for you. But so now you should be able to get it. You can always get the PDF straight from Heartstring Samplery's website. But I am yet to be a PDF stitcher. I'm a paper copy girl. Although I'm trying. We'll see. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so I had this stitch. I started it last springtime-ish. It should be on my tracker card, but it is not. But it was on a scroll rod because like this girl is like a, no joke, big girl, right? All those things, 40 count. So I am, and that is one of the reasons why she got put away. She's going to take a little more time. Anyway, I pulled her back out. I had the scroll rod. I am going to make myself, I'm going to call it like a scroll rod case, pillowcase, kind of slip it. I would attune it to a pillowcase where I'm going to be able to make it. It's just going to be a piece of cotton, like a pillowcase. And I'm going to be able to slide this in. It's going to have a flap just to give it, because right now this just loosey-goosey sits on a shelf and that's just asking for problems. So I do want to be able to protect it just a little bit with a soft case, whether it's lined with batting. I don't think it needs to be. I think just a straight pillowcase will do the job. But anyway, so I knew I had this scroll rod and that's what that lap stand was for and I was like, okay, so I'm going to pull that project out. And at the time before I started, I was right here at the beehive. I had done everything over this way and that was where I started this week. And so this week I was able to get this flower motif and then start on this flower pot. And again, this is a learning curve and I'm super excited. It does, because it's 40 count, that's also a little, I'm not gonna say a challenge. It is. And so I am learning and enjoying the process. That's the whole thing. This is a hobby. You're supposed to like what you're doing, right? And so being able to go up and down. And so one night I was doing, this is like origami, right? You guys, okay, you're like, what? Are we playing charades? No. So the dominant hand underneath, I can't even do it. There's not I don't have octopus hands to show you, but you have it on the lap stand. You have the lap. You have the stand on your lap. It's magical. I actually put my Halo Go light. It sits right here. And the way I have it manipulated and situated on my lap, the light shines like right on the area I'm working on. And so it's perfect. And then I'm stitching, one hand is underneath the scroll rod. Again, we're going to run out of octopus hands in a minute. So one hand is underneath and one hand is on top, right? Two hand stitching. Like I said, not an expert. Not even going to begin to say I'm an expert, but understanding what works best for me. Dominant hand on the bottom, non-dominant, I'm right-handed, right? Right? Or this way. So one night I did this way and one night I did this way. And to be honest, now that I'm sitting here telling you the story, I don't remember which one I liked better. I'm pretty sure my dominant hand's on top, I think. I don't remember. I'll have to pay attention and come back and tell you guys next week. But I remember that when Shelly was telling me the story, it was counterintuitive which way you thought, like hers is the opposite of what you think you would want. And to right now, the jumbled octopus brain now I've created, I don't even know which one I think should make more sense. Dominant on top or dominant on bottom? I don't know. I haven't figured out. I love that the situation, we'll just talk pros and cons. The situation with when I'm doing like a 6-inch hoop, which is my jam, you end up with this blanket of fabric, especially for this one, right? All you got to handle and manipulate. You use these little luggage, magnetic cord, whatever these doodles they call it, you know, Amazon. And you kind of corral your fabric. But then if I was working on this motif, and that's fine, but then I'd have to move my fabric and I'd end up with, you know, hoop lines and hoop marks and all the things, and make sure I take it out of the hoop. This way I just leave it in the scroll rod. It's always ready to go. Pro. And, you know, I'm always ready, and I never have to move a hoop mid situation. So it's not as convenient to be able to take your stitching with you, whether it's at a retreat or a stitching day, whatever. But I would never take one of these. I mean, this is like a blanket. It's what was it, 360 by 450? It's ginormous. So I would never take this project on the go. And so it's perfect in this scroll rod, and all the extra fabric is, you know, corralled with these tags and all the things. I haven't quite figured out if I'm faster. Shelly says she's faster going like this. I'm not faster yet. The key is yet. Will I get faster as I start to get better at doing it? And I'm super excited to try my 36 count. Because like I said, 40 count, I still have to wear my 4.0 readers to be able to see. I've got good lighting, all the things. But the great thing is also, tangent, when it's on your lap, it's at the perfect angle. So you're not cranking your neck and you're not hunching your shoulders. I feel like I was doing that. Obviously, when I'm holding a hoop, I can hold it wherever I want, as close as to my face and all the things. But using any other like my Patoki stand, I felt like I was hunching, and it wasn't good for a long stitching session. Where there's no fatigue on your shoulders or on your back or any of that, as long as you sit properly in the chair, right? And it rests on your lap at the perfect height. Okay, so that was super fun, and I'm super excited to be able to try it with 36 count. And so that's going to segment right into what I'm starting in T-minus 11 days. Want to see? Okay. So like I said, I had one scroll rod. I will link these down below. This is the Edmonds. I even forget, Edmonds something or other. It's a set of scroll rods, meaning it comes with 2 of these sidebars, 2 sets of sidebars, and 3 sets of length, 3 different short, small, medium, and large lengths, and they just screw together. And then it's got the white little clamps. Anyway, it's like a 3-set pack. You can't make 3 scroll rods. You can only make 2. They should just give you a 3rd bar set, and then you'd be good to go. And you only get 2 sets of these. So you can only make 2 scroll rods from the Amazon set, but that's perfect. The price, the value is great. I will link it down below. But so what I have on my scroll rod, my next scroll rod, now I could have gone to the smaller one, but it was right at that sweet spot where both sides were just a little too close to the edge. And I decided, let's just go for the big one. And then I could make it a little more taut, which I wanted. I wanted drum tight, or as close to drum tight as I could get. So on here right now is the Weeks Dye Works 36 count Peach Fuzz. Do you know what this is for? I'm so excited. I can't wait. To be honest, in full disclosure, I almost started it, but it's my birthday start, and there's so many friends joining me for my birthday SAL that I was like, I can't cheat. I can cheat. You can cheat. I totally want you guys to cheat. No, don't cheat. You can do whatever you want. But I would love it if you cheated and you tagged me, because I'm so excited. I just can't wait. Pretty in Pinks. This is my birthday sampler start January 31st. So next Saturday, January 31st, I will be starting this. I will link my Patreon down below. We will be going live at some point, whether it's either Friday night or Saturday or Sunday. It all just depends on how my weekend kind of comes together. But I will definitely be going live with you guys at some point on or around that Saturday, so we can start together, or at least you can start with me. Whether you start ahead of time, because I sold kits, I had full kits and mini kits. All the kits are sold out now. So thank you. I'm so excited for all my friends who are joining. If you still are having a little bit of FOMO and you want to join the fun, no worries. Rebecca and Beth of My Sister's Sampler have given me limited usage. So grab yours at limited to grab your PDF of this gorgeous chart. Do you see? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this photo does not do this justice, because let me pull the silks. Do you see? Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. Okay, beautiful photo. It is. But imagine these glorious colors, these glorious Glorianas on this fabric. Okay, we have to get the pinks because that's the most important. But oh my gosh, can you see? I just can't wait. This stitch is gonna come alive. Okay, like I said, I'm so. It is my party and I can start if I want to. I'm trying to be good. I'm going to try really, really, really hard to be good and wait. I almost started it when I put it on the scroll rod, but I didn't. But we'll see if I can hold out until it's a birthday-esque start, right? Yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is that you can grab the PDF if you want to participate and stitch along with us if you are in love with this chart. It is charted in Gloriana silks. That is what I kitted it up with, but she also did a fabulous, fantastic, it's gorgeous. I should go grab them at my local L&S just to show you guys the DMCs are also beautiful. And so that would be an easy, I think it's 13 colors. One of the colors you do need probably 2 skeins of DMC. We didn't do the math on DMC, but you can always go grab that again if you need more. There's one color, the Tanger Green Tanka Gold. 829 DMC. If you do DMC, I would go ahead and get two of those. I don't think she notes it on the back what you do, but we did include 2 Tanka Golds in the kits of Gloriana. Anyway, it's so gorgeous. So you could grab the PDF. It is available on my Etsy shop right now, linked down below. You can grab the PDF, download it, kit it up yourself. You don't have to, as you can see, the model is stitched on a beautiful neutral. I suggested Weeks straw. I actually do still have a couple pieces of Weeks straw in my shop. If you're looking for that, or really any neutral that you have in your stash, go grab it. I am choosing, and I'm super excited, this like peachy pinky color. I just thought, if you know, you know, that I wanted to put my sampler on pink. So that is super fun. I do want to tell you guys right here, just so you're like, oh my gosh, you didn't tell us that ahead of time. Just because it's fun. Beautiful sampler. It measures 191 by 222. This is an antique reproduction that the sisters adapted for me for my birthday, meaning the full vintage one, the full antique had this quote in the middle. It was about death. We opted out for it to be on my birthday start. So they did an adaptation for my birthdays, and I'm so thankful. And again, I think it had 2 or 3 alphabets as well. And we brought it down to 1. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. That's where I tangented. Oh, and you will be, the full antique will be releasing at market this year. So if you're like, oh, that's nice, but I am more of a true antique stitcher, fabulous, awesome. This is going to be gorgeous. The sisters will be releasing the full sampler at market. I don't know what it's called. Maybe they'll tell me, but you'll recognize it. It's got the tree and the things and all so fun, gorgeous. So like I said, that's the reason why the PDF is only going to be a limited availability for you to be able to download the PDF, purchase the PDF and download it for my Pretty in Pink version. It's very short time because I don't want to compete with, once they start selling market and all the things, we don't want to overlap, right? So the other thing, this is I feel like I'm all over the place. I wanted to tell you, so there's an alphabet right here. Gorgeous, love it. I'm not gonna stitch it right out the chute. So in case you're like, ooh, I, in true Kari fashion, many, many, many times for my last 2 birthday samplers that are huge and big and huge and big and huge, I changed the verse. Now, this isn't a verse, this is just an alphabet, but it's a line of text. I view it as an opportunity to add a quote. Now, obviously it needs to be short and sweet because it's only one little, I don't even know what it is. I haven't done the math, the measurements or whatever. So it's gonna be just a short little saying, quote. I might go back and do the alphabet. I don't know. It's all just, I haven't wrapped my head around what I would want to say, what I would want to symbolize. Something about life and happiness and love and something, right? I love personalizing things that way. And so there is a high probability that I will be taking out this alphabet and in replace probably stitching a quote that I find somewhere that I love in pink. Shocker, it's gonna be, I'll choose the pink floss and quote it, put the quote right there. Very well could happen. So if you want to have the option of using my quote, I just want to let you guys know ahead of time, maybe hold off on the alphabet. You can always go back and stitch it after the fact, no worries. But I just want to let you know, because I like to circle you in case you want to do what I'm doing, or in case you don't, or you may have your own quote. How fabulous would that be? Okay, so because I'm starting because I'm going to try, we're going to give it a whirl. I'm going to try this on my scroll. Like I said, I'm new to the scroll rods. I want to love it. I love the concept of it. I'm so appreciative of the gift. So I am going to try my first couple stitching sessions, or if I love it, all the stitching sessions for my Pretty in Pink will be on the scroll rod. Now, will I maybe switch back and go back to my 6-inch queen hoop in hand stitching? Maybe. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. But where I am starting, just in case, I think it's going to be so fun. I love doing stitch alongs with friends and seeing everybody starts in different places. In case you were wondering, I am doing a, because everybody's got, if you've got the kit, I use a fat quarter. Now, math, right? 36 count, it finishes, she did the math for 40 count. 191 by 222, I don't have I'd use my phone calculator, but I'm recording on it. I did the math where the short side of the fat quarter, what is it, 17 by 22 is a fat quarter of fabric, give or take. I think it's like 12 and a half is the short side. I don't remember, long side. Either way, I figured that I could use the short side of my fat quarter and start in the center. Now my margins are going to be shorter than the average Joe likes, so maybe that's not your comfort level. You start where you want to start. There's plenty of room in a fat quarter, no worries. You can have any kind of margin you want. But I set my scroll rod up so that I'm going to center start. I'm going to measure from left to right, which should be very close to the 17 inches. Yep, fat quarter. And I'm going to go down just a smidge, and I'm going to center start right there. So that's, I usually don't center start. Well, actually I do. I center start all the time, but I usually don't center start top. I center start center. But I wanted to go ahead and get into, borders aren't my love language, although this is going to be a beautiful border. I wanted to go ahead and get started with the border and kind of work on the top border. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm starting first. Although I so wanted to start with the house and the fruit baskets and all the good stuff, but I didn't. I'm going to start on the border. What I'll probably do is maybe do this fun little flower and then maybe do the kind of zigzaggy stuff to go ahead and, well, if I stay on my scroll rod, that's not the most, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. It's time to come back and we'll see. We'll see how I go. What if you're stitching, where are you starting? Are you center starting? Are you top left starting? Top right starting? All the things. Let me know. I can't wait to start using this glorious Gloriana silks. It's going to be gorgeous. Oh, just in case you're wondering, I haven't forgotten. It is on the master list, but it's on the short list of the master list of the videos that are coming, and that is my silk keeper. Now, if you were here for a while, you've probably seen this before. This is a little sweet little, I won't even call it a pattern. It's just a little prototype, little piece of fabric manipulation. You sew it together in the funny shape, you add a little magnetic snap, and you're good to go. It's just my way of kind of silk saving my silk rather than just throwing it in a zipper bag, which I totally love. You saw that's what I'm doing with Consider the Lilies, but I made myself a silk keeper for this one. So that way my Glorianas can just stay in here and I'd be like, okay, I mean, I'm probably going to have to start with the greens or the golds or whatever that border is. I don't even know, but that way I can just pull the strand, keep it up. This was the pretty fob that was in the kit from Siggy's Closet. Love Christina so much. I will have her link to her Etsy shop. Fabulous little bling if you want to treat yourself to additional bling if you missed out on the kit bling. Okay, friends, that is all things stitching. Let me go ahead and switch gears. Okay, so that was all things stitching. The one thing I wanted to let you know, just in case you were like, ooh, what bag are you putting? I couldn't show you the keeper that I put my birthday stitch in because it is the January Keeper Club. And yes, those have all gone out in the mail. Yay! But I don't want to spoil it to you because they just started their journey. So many friends have not received their Keeper Club yet, but they're on their way. No worries. Plenty of time before the 25th is when they should be big. You're good to go. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and switch gears and talk yarn, talk knitting, talk all the fun. So if you do want a Tiger Lily shop update, there's a like pretty big life update at the end. So go ahead and I haven't figured out that whole timestamp chapter situation. Just fast forward a little bit. I don't know if you want to know a little bit of that update, but otherwise let's talk yarn. Okay, first, let's talk about my full, what are you wearing today? I feel like I love watching knitting podcasts. First of all, I'm kind of hooked on it. It's so much fun, so many good ones, love them so much. And I was so excited. It's cold enough. I mean, I shouldn't be excited that it's cold, but when you're a knitter and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these wool sweaters. I want to wear a wool sweater. Now, truth be told, 90% of the time I'm just wearing a Clemson sweatshirt or a hoodie, but I do love to wear my wool sweaters. And so it's definitely cold enough. And I was so excited to be able to wear this one. This one was sat on my needles. Let me get my journal and let's chat about it. Want to? I went and grabbed my journal. You guys, we talked about this last week and I'm so excited. We're 1 week in and I'm still using it. Yay, winning, gold star for me. Okay, so let's talk about sweater. You want to know about the details of the sweater that I'm wearing? Well, let me give them to you. Let me go ahead and reference the sweatered tab of my little knitting journal here. And so what do we've got? So this is called the Kintra Sweater. It is by Rebecca Clow of Crea Bay Designs. First of all, I will link her podcast down below. She's an adorable. I've watched all. I've binged them all because she's so fun. First of all, she's from Scotland, and so we're rewatching Outlander. Side tangent. Did you ever watch Outlander? Love Outlander. With the new season coming in March, I've started to rewatch the whole thing so I can get caught up and have it all fresh. Anyway, Scottish. It's on the bucket list. It might be my birthday gift to myself this year. We shall see. Scotland. Anyway, so Rebecca. Crea Bay Designs, beautiful Scottish knitwear designer, full-time knitwear designer. She makes beautiful patterns. This was her first one that I've knit. I have 2 more in my queue, in my favorites, and then I'm this close to starting my next one, which is going to be Advent related. We're not going to talk about that today, but hopefully I want to get this other project that I have been working on this week off the needles. I'm not really a huge well, that's not true. Let's be real. I like to have one garment at a time. And yes, this is a shawl, but it's a really big shawl. It's like 3 skeins of yeah, big shawl. Is almost like a sweater, but like a baby sweater. Anyway, I only want to have one garment going at a time. Anyway, let's talk about this one. Kintra. Kintra, I knit the size. My journal has already failed me. I didn't tell you what size I knit. I'm going to guess large. I don't remember if she does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually I'm in the 4 to 5s if it's a number thing. I'm usually between the large and extra large if it's a size thing. It's 41 bust across, and then it just depends on how much positive ease and whether I want to do positive ease or not positive ease. Anyway, so it is knit in the solid color. It's a DK weight. I think it's written in 2 different ways. The pattern failing as a knitting podcaster right now. I'm pretty sure the pattern comes in DK or fingering, like magic math. I'm a DK sweater knitter or worsted. Ain't nobody got time for a fingering weight garment. Holy moly, that will take forever. Unless it's being held with mohair, because then it's like a DK weight. Anyway, so my main color was this. I got this at my local L&S. Of course, I cut the card up because it's this one right here. It is Manos del Uruguay Allegra Grande, which is their DK weight. Yes, 197, 18 to 20 stitches per 4 inches. It's a DK weight. The gauge, we were looking for about 20, so it was right on. I got gauge, but I ended up using the US 7. I'm a tight knitter. I think the pattern, 90% sure. Of course, I've already like thrown away my paper copy of the pattern. The 90% of the time, I have to go up a needle size. For garments, I always gauge swatch. I am team gauge swatcher, especially for garments, because ain't nobody gonna wear something if it doesn't fit, right? So, and these take years. Maybe not truly years, but the amount of time invested in a sweater, I'm gonna knit a size that was gonna fit. So I always gauge swatch for sweater patterns. For the yarn, even if I think I know, I do not know. Take the day, it doesn't even take a day, take the one knitting session to accurately knit your gauge swatch. That would be my highest recommendation always. And so I always gauge swatch, and 90% of the time I usually have to go up a needle, gauge swatch again, because I'm such a tight knitter. And so I gauge swatched at her recommended US 6. My stitches were too tight, so I wasn't at gauge. So I went up to a US 7, and then I could hit gauge. The fabric was still lovely. I loved it. Manos del Uruguay. This is what I got. I don't remember. I bought as much as the pattern said you needed for my size. I'm usually not. I kind of like roll the dice. I don't, but I mean, because this is a $30 ball of yarn. And I don't remember if I needed 4 or 5 or 3 or 4. I bought what the pattern said I needed for my size. I never buy an extra. I'm sure that's going to come back and bite me in the butt one day, but I don't. And as of right now, I had an extra. I had a little bit of extra yarn from the previous, but I had a whole, anyway, I should weigh it. That would be fun. I'll have to weigh my sweater and put the notes in here. I did, so this is the main color. I swatched on February 15th, 2025. So I went to my L&S that day. That was like the day I think the pattern came out. The pattern came out and I was like, oh, I love it. And the reason why I love it is because this yoke is actually designed for a 24 yarn event. She's got 2, which is why I said I might be doing, and the next one might be the same. So she does a couple like advents. She understands like everybody gets advents and we don't know what to do with them besides make blankets, which I don't think I'm going to be a knit blanket type of girl. I'm a quilt blanket type of girl. I'm a garment knitter, I think. We'll see. Anyway, but this was designed with a 24 advent in mind. And so each of I think there's 24 colors. As you can tell, I did not use 24 different colors. Maybe you can't tell. I don't know. But what I did is I did go to my advent of 2024 and I had gotten a couple of them. I had gotten Rubies and Roses and Miss Babs yarns, gorgeous. And those 2. And I went and I pulled, you can see, I pulled the pinks, the purples, and the oranges. And because that's just what I wanted my color yoke to be. And so I think it was 12. I did 12 colors. So it's written for 24, but I was like, can I get away with just 12? I did play a little bit of yarn chicken because I did add it to my cuff, and that was my own choice. And I wanted to end and start on this pink color because pink is my favorite. So it was a little bit of yarn manipulation, a little bit of yarn math, but I was able to hold 12 fingering minis. I held it double, DK, right? I held it double for this color work section. I should have, going forward, if I was going to knit it again, I probably would have gone up one more size again for color work. So I learned, this is my first color work yoke. I've done a color work sock, like a little cuff, but this was my first color work yoke. And I learned that I'm tight and then some. So like I said, mentioned before, I'm a tight knitter just on the regular knitting. I am a tight, but I just went up one needle size and I was good to go. I should have gone up another needle size when I was working on this color work. So if I was to knit it again, and yes, just today, my mother said, "Are you sure that wasn't the pink sweater you were supposed to knit me?" Well, it wasn't, and it's definitely not her size. She's a much smaller size than me. So maybe I'll knit it again. It was such a fun knit. It was a great color work. Like I said, Rebecca's patterns were fabulous, easy. I don't know what sweater this is of mine. Well, actually, what fluff ferns? 1, 2, 3. This is my 4th sweater knit ever. So I'm pretty proud of myself. And I was able to get it done, get my size using just the 12 fingering weight Advent minis. I did, like I said, yarn chicken at the end, a little bit of worried. I wanted them to be, I wanted them to be the same. And the rubies and roses was a little more variegated than the Mrs. Babs was just like solid colors. Anyway, I had so much fun. So much fun. And then just this beautiful, this neutral, I get the pop next to my face. I don't think that this is it kind of washes me out. I'm not a big fan of washing you out. But this way I have the neutral and it's not color work over the whole body because that would have taken forever. Now, the one thing I didn't do, I'm pretty sure, sorry, I have a t-shirt underneath, but I don't remember if it was supposed to, maybe, I don't remember if that was on this one or the other one. If there was supposed to be a cuff, the rib on the bottom, but I didn't. It's all just the solid color. So like I said, I started this February 15th, 2025. It came off the needles. I just put October 2025 is when it came off the needles. And then I blocked it. One thing to note, and I don't know what yarn to blame, but it was almost a crisis mode, almost. You can see, and I'm okay with it. I've embraced it, but can you see? Does this have a little bit of pink tinge to it? Which is fine. Like, I love pink. So that's, if my neutral became a pink neutral, I'm not super mad about it, but you can see a kind of one or multiples. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yarn bleeds. Hand-dyed yarns. Sometimes they don't get washed, just like with floss. Sometimes it's not color fast. Of course, I blocked this in cold water. There was no warm water. But when I put it in the sink, did the blocking, I didn't squish it around like there was not of agitation. But oh my gosh, when I pulled it out and the water was so pink, I almost started to cry. I was like, oh my gosh, my neutral sweater is now pink, which there's worse things that could be, right? But it's just not what I wanted. I wanted the pink to pop against a neutral backdrop. And then I put it in, so I was like, oh, stop, you've got to step over. So usually I'm a kitchen sink washer or soaker, blocker, bath. This time I was like, okay, bathtub, lay the sweater out flat just like this. So none of the other colors are touching each other. Because like when this cuff was on top of this, bleed. When this was on top of this, bleed. I was like, no, it needs to just be open. And then I didn't wring it. I didn't do it. So I pulled it out of the bathtub, put it flat as I was blocking it on towels and kind of squished out the water I tried it again. Thankfully, because I did it right after it was pink, a lot of the pink came out of the neutrals. Learning. Again, I'm not mad about it. There's worse things than having a pinky neutral sweater. So fun. Anyway, wow. So that is my, what are you wearing? I'm super excited. Like I said, I am this close to starting a new Rebecca Clow Crea Bay designs with her Advent. She designed a she designed a cardigan for an Advent. Or you can do whatever you want. It's stripes. although this is super fun. But I think I want to, I only have one, I have one cardigan and 4 sweaters. So I think I need another cardigan. So that's the one I might, so I just have to go searching again for my next new neutral that's going to play. I'll go digging into my Advents and kind of pull it out. I think it's another 24 pattern, 24 stripes, plenty, love that. So I'm excited. We'll see. Of course, I'll let you know. But what else do I have? I have 2 other projects. One project came off the needles. One project is making lots of waves. Whips. Let's look at them. All right, friends. So my next project is living in my Queen Takes Center Stage adaptation bag. So just because the colors were perfect. If you know, I showed you guys this project last week, but I wanted to let you know, see the bag, the construction of the bag is the same. This is the center stage, right? There was a queen here. This is the jumbo size one. If you missed out on this class, it was last summer, which is crazy town. I have a little bit of shop update. We'll talk more about that later on in the video. But let's look at the whip project that is inside. So like I said, I started this one last week and showed it to you guys. I wasn't very far. This is a disheveled piece of paper, but it is the Maya shawl. So fun. I will have it linked down below. There's a Ravelry link that I was able to find. One of my friends asked me for it and I was able to find it. This is what I do with my patterns. Yeah. Make notes and check marks. So that way I don't have to count or think while I'm knitting because I'm busy watching the TV. And this is a great mindless knit. Now I did stop mid-row, which is not usually how I love to stop because it just becomes a hotter mess. But the orange row is the hardest row and it takes about 4 times as long as a purple row. And I was falling asleep, so I had to stop last night. So this is where I was. I did put in a little marker. That's where I was last week. So we started and I had 1, 2, 3, 4 little orange rows and I'm working on the 4th row. And as you can see, this is a shawl. And again, because I stopped mid, hold on, I don't want everything to come off the needles. Nope. Because I stopped mid row, it's kind of hard for me to open it, but it will open up as a shawl. It's, you know, it's very triangle shaped. It's so fun. And I love the baubles. The baubles, I love the way they look. It's just a fun, it's such a unique pattern. It's fun. My baubles are getting better with every time. Because I just have to remember, loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. My first row of baubles, I was so tired. I could barely make a bauble, but I was able to make baubles and then getting better with every row. And I am on my second row of my second cake of purple. This is juniper yarn, moonshine yarn. It's an alpaca wool blend, wool, alpaca, and silk blend. It is a glorious, scrumptious yarn in purple and orange that I was gifted. And I am so excited. I can't wait to finish the shawl. I'm almost, let me see. Let me refer to my crazy chicken scratch. I am on the 8th row of orange. So you increase a lot, but I'm on my 8th row is what I'm doing right now. You can see, right? So I'm working on my 8th one, my 8th orange, and there's only 10. So I have 2 more sections of purple. It'll grow a little bit. I think it ends up being like 6 feet long once you block it, which is so fabulous. I can't wait. I'm kind of worried I'm gonna run out of orange or run out of purple. Ooh, maybe I should weigh it. Let's weigh it. Want to? I kept thinking I wanted to weigh it last night, but I was like, I don't want to get off the couch. Anybody else have that kinds of days? Okay, 100 grams. And I started this one. Okay, hold on. You can be nervous with me. You want to? That'll be fun. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Okay, I started the purple. And I remember starting it. And I was like, okay, am I going to run out? And there's the purple. So I have this. So I've done 1 purple row with this yarn, with this new cake of yarn, I think. Hold on, there's where I started, a new purple. Yes, so I've only done 1 purple section, and we've noted I have 2 more purple sections, and then there's a little bit of purple at the end. Okay, 100 grams, I've done 1 purple. I need to do 2 more, and they get much bigger and longer because right now my stitch count that's on the needles is 295, and it grows to 371. So what do I want this to be? I don't know, math. Sure would be great if this was like 80, but it is not 80. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. Okay, hold on. Let me reset it. Let's give it as much. Okay, reset. Moment of truth. Are you ready? 64. That means that one purple section took 36. And that was, if that was 100, it could have been 105 or 110. Math. There's no way, I mean, the math that I can't get 2 more purple rows out. If this shorter purple row took 36 grams, then 2 more purple rows would be 72, and that's if they were the same size, and they're not the same size. They're much bigger and longer. So math. So maybe I'm only going to do 9, and I'm okay with that. So it won't be as long, and it won't be because I'll only grow to 335 instead of 371. Yeah, it's going to be great. So let's see, because it blocks, when it was full size, it's supposed to block to 17 inches by 76 inches. So I have no idea what I'm supposed to block it to now. Doesn't matter. I'm okay with it. We're just going to see how she's got 17 inches. We're just going to have 1 less row. It's going to be gorgeous. Maybe it's only going to be 5 feet instead of 6 feet. Still a gorgeous shawl. And I was kind of afraid of that because of how chunky this yarn, the yardage was less than the called for. Anyway, it's going to be fabulous. I'm so excited. Okay, so yay. Maybe that one will be done quicker since I'm only going to do 2 more. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I measured that. And if I didn't just keep going. So 36, 60, yeah, math, yay. Okay, so that is my whip progress on the Maya shawl, which is so much fun. I love it, love it, love it. And then, yay, are you ready? Are you ready? Now, if you were here last week, you noted, you recall that I realized after creating my cute little knitting journal that I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 5 sock advents or sock whips. That's too many sock whips, in my opinion, for me. For you, I love that for you. I love that so much for you. For me, I couldn't justify being able to start a new one until I got 1 of them off. Now, really, I should probably get 2 of them off the needles, but ain't nobody gonna do that. So I gave myself the goal, 1 off the needles, 5 whips is okay. Now I'm okay with it, but I can't have more than 5. So the good news is this week I was able to get 1 of them off the needles. So that means next week I can start a new sock. And you know what's coming today? Oh my gosh. I tried to wait for the Amazon truck, and maybe if I'm not done editing by the time the Amazon truck comes, I will add a little walkthrough right here in the video. That will be fun. Sure would love that to happen for you guys. But today, Amazon is bringing me the Summerly Knits, and we talked about it last week. This is Summerly Knits this is her sock project book. This is like I won't say my ride or die, but I certainly love everything about this sock book. We're going to talk all things sock knit along. Don't miss out if you've ever wanted to knit a sock. Tiger Lily sock knit along is coming. Details, post haste, fourth worth, later we're going to talk about it. This is her book from last year. It's called The Sock Project. Summerly, she's adorable. This is very beginner, very like rules. It's like a textbook. It's like a reference book. I love it. But she came out with a new book. The new book was pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it. It drops today. Amazon is bringing me my copy because I pre-ordered it, of course. It is coming in today's mail. Like I said, if the video comes before I'm done editing, I will put a little insert right here. I hope I walked it for. I hope I was able to walk through with you, but if not, I will definitely show you guys next week. But the book is called The Sock Obsession. I'm so excited. And I knew that I wanted to be able to cast on a new sock obsession pattern. I have no idea which one, no idea, but I want to pick one. I have my sock squad, beautiful. Here it is right here. This is my January sock squad. I think this is the one I'm going to use. If not, I might pull a pink from my stash because I just might feel that more better right now. It's kind of goes with what I want. I don't know. I have to see. I have to wait for the book to get here to decide what I'm going to cast on. But that book is coming today. I'm so excited. So like I said, I was preparing myself to be able to take one sock off the needle. I couldn't start a new one. I gave myself those rules and I was able to succeed. Moral of the story is I was able to get my Freckled Whimsy 2025 Advent sock, which was a 24 stripe self-striping yarn Advent. You were supposed to do one stripe a day in December 1 through 24. At the end of the month, you would have a pair of socks as I'm dropping yarn. I didn't. I fell behind. Nobody's surprised. I'm certainly not. December is busy, but they're not blocked. They're just put on the blockers. I love them so, so much. Oh my gosh. These are adorable. So I finished my Freckled Whimsy 2025 Advent socks. Like I said, it's 24 stripe. So I just did the math. I wear a size 9. We'll talk all things socks later. I feel like you guys are gonna be so sick of sock talk. But this is self-striping yarn is just my favorite. It gives you the bang for your buck with the vanilla sock. So I just did the math on how many stripes I needed to get, because I do cuff down, because I feel like that's easier. I'm a cuff down sock girl. I go to Shelly's Magic Heel, and we're going to talk all about that during the sock knit along. And then you get down and I just do a normal decrease Kitchener stitch toe, nothing super fancy. So I just did the math on how many stripes was going to give me my size foot sock. And then I did all the rest of the straps. I kind of worked math backwards to be able to get my matching socks. Yay. So my blockers these are my tallest socks yet. Because I had to have all 24 stripes in the sock. I felt like that was just the whole point of having a 24 stripe sock was you want to have 24 stripes in your sock, right? So this is my tallest sock yet. My blockers aren't even big enough, but that's okay. So I will get these blocked and maybe worn and pictured and stuff. But what I think is super fun is, I'm going to link her down below. I'm a part of her club, love it. But I also, the value, like there's a whole nother, in the 100, I don't know if it was 100. I think she calls it 100. I feel like it's got to be more, but hold on, I'm throwing needles. It's 100 grams. The 100 grams is going to get me 2 full socks. Now, I'm not going to knit that again. Let's be real. Do I need 2 pairs of these? No, I don't. And so the color repeat just starts over again. It's magical. That is such a great value. So we're going to talk about sock swap friends, sock stripe swap friends later also in the sock Tiger Lily knit along. It's going to be great. But right now I'm just going to keep this and know exactly what it is, add it to my stash. We'll talk more about it later. I know what's coming. It's in my list. It's brewing. But that is what I did finish. I'm so excited. All right, friends, now we're going to enter into the haul portion of the knitting section of the video. Junction Fiber Mill, love them. Oh my gosh, those ladies are adorable. It's a small Vermont mill. I don't know how small. Anyway, they have their own podcast. I will link them down below. They are adorable. I have knit my Traveler's Shawl Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mallory. I think I showed it to you last. It's my dog walk in the cold cowl. I have one cowl, but it's perfect. It goes over. Anyway, so I loved their yarn. Oh my gosh. And I didn't open this. Now, I knew that they were dropping something fun. And I was like, I need that, like, if there was ever a color. And so I had to get it. And I was so excited. What it's going to be, I don't know. Look at the yummy yarn. Actually, I do know what I have so many different ideas. I bought four. I bought four. I'm pretty sure you can't. It's called Very Cherry. Very Cherry. They have put in, they twisted, did they say? I forget. They tell you, I've been watching Amanda and Peggy. They're adorable. I watch their Instagram. They show the process behind the mill and the things and their podcasts. Love everything about it. They showed this in production over the last month or so. It's mixing two of their, I think it's like a pink and a red, but it just ends up looking like two shades of pink, which is fabulous, magical. It's going to knit. Yeah, see, I knew that it's a heavy DK is what it works out to be. And it's not superwash, so it would be, but this would be such a cute color work, like in a yoke, in a color work yoke, and a neutral, right? Like the Alpine Bloom, which I don't even know, like that could be fingering for all I know. I haven't done any research. So I just knew, well, four should get me good. Four should be good. Because I was looking at a couple different things. I was like, first, grid gambit cowl. So fun. I need a complementary color on that. I didn't get it. But then I was like, or this could be such a fun, I mean, listen, I love this. A pink accent colorwork cowl, colorwork yoke with a neutral body. I'm not mad about it. Oh. This is much heavier. This is a heavy 200 yards. This is 197. It just feels heavier. I would want, I don't know. I'd have to see. I don't know. But I got it because I had to have it, and I knew it was a limited run. It was a Valentine's special. Just look how gorgeous. So whether it turns out to be a cowl or a shawl or the yoke of a colorwork sweater or any, I don't know, but I had to have it. And while I was on the website, just in case, I decided that the grid gambit, like this, the grid gambit is two skeins of, which is it's the next cowl that's been calling to me. And it just is really beautiful pattern. And I was like, okay, well, what if I use that for a sweater? And so then I did get a purple and orange just in case. Now this looks very busy, but I'm okay with it. If this was the grid gambit, which is just the purples and oranges together, or I could just do this with white, or I could just do this with a gray, or I could do them together. This one is called Midnight Plum, and this one is called Tangerine Twist. Listen, I love color. Love it. Oh, this one isn't made with, this would be a nice grid gambit. And I bet I could get away with just this. Not quite so wah. Or this one. That's more like, looks like sherbet, like summer sherbet, which is not really when you're going to wear a summer cowl. I don't know. I just got it for my haul, for my stash, because Peggy and Amanda are adorable, and supporting small business is my favorite. Holy moly. Have you lasted this long? Truth be told, I thought this video was going to be like 20 minutes because I was like, well, I only have 2 Stitchy projects and I have a sweater and a cowl, like shawl, whatever. 20 minutes. It'll be quick like. Not so quick like. Hopefully you were able to get some stitching or knitting or making, whatever you do while you watch your content, YouTube video making stuff. I know I'm always doing things. My friends are always keeping me company in the studio. Speaking of the studio, let's talk about Tiger Lily shop updates. Let me give you a little bit of update about what's coming up next, and then we'll have a little bit of bigger life update. Want to? Okay. So first, what's coming up next? I've promised it for a while. I won't put a timestamp on it. I promised it for a while, and it is now time. As I mentioned, the Keeper Club for January is out and on its way, on its journey, going to its new home. The birthday SAL, those kits are gone and done. So hopefully they're on their way to you. So it is now time for two reasons. The one reason we'll talk about in a little bit, but it is now time for the Tiger Lily sock knit along. I'm just using these as examples. We will not be doing these, but we are going to do a sock knit along. Now, if you were here, it was almost a year ago exactly. Last February must be my knit along era month time. Last February, we did a beanie along. Every week we did different steps of a beanie along, and we went step by step with video tutorials, with lives, with fun, all the things to get you guys, you don't have to know squat about squat to come and join the fun. And that was what we did last year for beanies. And we're going to do the same this time for socks. Now, I have just started to yesterday, I just started designing, curating, and planning, all of which take a period of time to, so I haven't nailed down the timeline of the sock along. What I did yesterday on my Patreon, link down below, all of this will be in Patreon. So step one, if you want to knit a sock along with me, join Patreon. So link down below. Yesterday I did a poll on my Patreon, and the results are coming in. They're kind of all over the place, which is great, That means you guys want all the things. But I was asking opinions on whether we just wanted the videos and wanted you guys to be able to source your own materials, whether you wanted to be able to purchase a full kit, like socks in a box. I don't think that's what I'm going to call it, but it's like, if you don't know how to do anything, if you don't know how to do anything and you don't have anything for knitting a sock, I am going to curate a kit. There will be options, is the moral of the story. What I've learned from yesterday's poll is that I'm going to have options. I'm not just going to do one. My purpose of my poll was I want to be able to ask you guys what you want. I'm a one-woman shop, and the flex, and I'm on my own business, and I get to do what I want. And that's the great thing, is that I have flexibility to do what I want and to give you what you want. And so that's what I went to Patreon for, is I was like, okay, what do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want both? What do you want? So what I've learned so far, the poll is still open. Feel free to go vote. If you haven't voted yet, I would love more input. Maybe there'll be a front runner. Right now, literally, there were 4 options, and I think all 4 of them are tied. It's what's that called? A neck race, horse neck race, photo finish. They're all the same. I was trying to figure out if there was a front runner for how we are going to do the sock along. Right now, I've ruled out that we're just going to do it all. We're going to have a couple different options. We're going to have options. One is going to be a full kit, meaning you don't have to have anything. You just have to show up with your hands and a good attitude and be ready to go. And I'm going to have everything else that you need in this kit. And you won't have to go sourcing from here or there or everywhere. There's going to be full kits. Now, kind of like my stitch along, my make along, my birthday SAL, there's going to be a limited number, because right now I am going to go and start curating those. I'm not going to sell this as a pre-order. That's just a little bit above my bandwidth. So I'm rolling the dice. I'm picking a number of how many full kits to do. I could end up with 80% extra. I could end up with way too many full kits, or it could be an instance where I sell it out in 10 minutes. I really have no idea. I wish. That's also the pros and cons of being a small business, is I don't have the bandwidth / inventory / room / all the things to just go big. Anyway, Patreon. So go vote. And that's how kind of loosely choosing my numbers. So in the next day or two, maybe today's Tuesday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I'm going to see how many people voted for full kits. that's what I'm going to kind of use softly, roughly as a, you're not committed. I don't know who you are, so don't worry. But I'm going to use those rough numbers as a, well, this many people said they wanted a full kit. Let's go with X number. There's going to be full kits. There's going to be full kits, and then there's going to be mini kits, meaning some people already have some needles. Some people already have some of the goodies. I haven't quite figured out if there's going to be like 2 different mini kits or just the mini kits is where I'm struggling, because everybody's going to have different things as to what they have already. Whether you already have the needles, cool. Whether you already have yarn, cool. Whether you already have notions and the doodahs and the accoutrement that you need. So I'm struggling with the mini kit because I don't know. There's too many options as to, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Well, I can't make 3 different. That's my, welcome behind the curtain, friends. Enjoy, have a seat. We're talking crazy town. So that's one of the mini. So I'm struggling with the mini kits, but there will be, the full kits are easy. If it's one of those things where if I use it when I'm knitting a sock, it's going to be in this kit. That's that. Now, let's just talk about the sock along, because I'm an expert by no stretch of the imagination. I am a self YouTube taught, friend taught. I have friends that teach me how to do things, whether they're virtual or real. So I am by no means an expert. Let me just say that. But I love to teach. I love to help. I love to share what I know. And I love creating community around the making world, around the making community. I love creating friendships and community in this community. That's what I bring to the table. So with that being said, there's oodles of, listen, I'm not doing anything new. You could go to YouTube right now and probably find half a dozen other people that you could learn how to knit a vanilla sock from. This is not rocket science. But what I am going to be offering you is weekly videos. We're going to do it step by step, just like we did with the beanie. We're going to do it step by step. We're going to have lives. I'm going to see if I can figure out Zooms, if not, definitely lives, where we're going to come together. You guys can ask questions. I'm going to show you step by step. It's as close as I can get to sitting at the table with you and knitting in a class. That's as close. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a vanilla sock. We're going to do my recipe. Now, I don't know how to do all the things. I'm just going to tell you that right here. I know how to do it my way. Right or wrong? I don't know. There's 2,700 different ways to do things. There's 27 cuffs and heels and toes and all the things. So I'm just teaching you my way. And it's worked for me. I don't know how many socks I have completed, but I love them. I'm addicted to always having a sock wet because it's the greatest. It is my favorite thing, because I used to take my stitching to go to travel to doctor's offices, in the car, wherever. Once I found sock knitting, I was like, game changer. Sock knitting on the go is my ride or die, because I love to be able, I always have, as we learned, I have 5 sock wets and they're all vanilla. And I can just pick them up and put them down, and I don't have to think. I don't have to read. I don't have to put another strand on the needle. I don't have to have scissors. I don't have to do any of the things, right? Okay, sock knitting. This is my, why do I love sock knitting? What we're going to do is we're going to do a cuff down sock. We're going to do a cuff down vanilla sock. I'm not teaching you any fancy stitches. We're doing knitting and purling, because you do have to, you can either do a 1x1. Let me see, what did I do here? I did a 1x1 rib. So that's a 1x1 rib. So we're going to knit. We're going to learn how to cast on. We're going to do a long tail cast on. We're going to knit stitch. We're going to purl stitch. Again, this is for the, I don't know how to do any of it. Come on down. I'm excited to show you. So you don't have to know how to do anything prior to this class. It's not even a class. Prior to this knit along, you don't have to know how to do anything. I'm going to show you like you know nothing. If you know something, cool, skip that step, skip that video, skip that week, skip ahead. Just come along for the fun. Maybe you know more than I do, and I would love for you to share. Like, for example, Shelly's heel. I did not invent this heel, and I haven't even told her this yet, but we are going to definitely get Shelly on that Zoom, on that live, and she's going to talk to us about this heel. I forget what she calls it, a garter stitch heel? I don't know. The point is there's no picking up stitches. There's no gusset and flap. I hate the gussets and flaps. And there's no picking up. There's no dropping. You do it as you go. And my favorite is changing colors. That's just my favorite thing to do. My favorite is the accent heel, toes, and heel, toe, and cuff in a different color. My favorite. So I'll show you how to do that. Vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. Vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. I'm going to show you how to measure your foot. I'm going to show you the math. I'm not going to show you how to measure your foot, but there's math. It's not hard. It's very easy math. We're just going to measure your foot. We're going to start off. Now, socks get a little tricky. You know, you have big feet or small feet, and then you get into the whole, do you knit tight? Do you knit loose? Do you knit? So there's a little bit of wiggle room. What is going to be included in the kit is a US 1. It's a US 1 9-inch needle. That's the other thing, is I stitch on 9-inch, I knit on a 9-inch needle. I'm not a magic looper. I can't teach you that because, to be honest with you, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. I failed miserably when I tried last month, 2 months ago, whenever it was that I tried magic loop for like a hot minute. I hated it. I failed. I put it away, never to be back again. So I won't teach you that way. So if you want to learn magic loop socks, I'm not your girl. But 9-inch circulars, US 1, 90% of the time, that's going to fit the average woman's foot. Well, it's going to fit your man's foot. You just have to cast on differently. So we'll talk about casting on. We're just going to start with the average. Just if it's your first sock, you're okay. You're going to find somebody who's going to fit in the foot. And then the length, and then we're going to do, there's decreases into the toe, and then the Kitchener stitch. That's it. Anyway, I've exhausted it. The knit along is coming. That was the moral of the story. It is coming. Like I said, TBD on the timing. I'm starting to curate here in the next day or two the kits. And then I have to get all the things in for the kits, and then I have to sell the kits and then get them shipped out. So there's a little bit of lead time. There's a little bit of time for you to think about, kind of mull it over. Do you want to do it? Is late February, early March? I don't even know. Hopefully earlier than that. It all just depends on when these things come in. When we can start getting started. I have to get all the things in, and then it's going to see how quickly the kits sell. Anyway, it's coming. This is my just like little informational session on what's upcoming, and I would love for your information, sharing what you want with me. All right, friends, last but not least, if you made it to the end, you're the one who's going to be in the know. So this is the secret. This is the behind the curtain secret. You're going to be, things are going to look a little different around here for about 3 to 4 months. And why is that? I'm moving. So Tiger Lily is moving. I'm super excited. Leaving Northern Virginia. I have wanted to move back to the upstate of South Carolina since I left when I was 22, 28 years ago. Why I ever left, I don't know. But it is now time. It is now time for me to go back home to South Carolina. And I couldn't be more excited. I'm nervous / anxious / worried / my to-do list in my brain is just like a ticker tape that's just a little overwhelming. But I'm so excited. I can't wait. There are so many things that I want to do when I get there. But first, I got to get there. So that is what's going to be happening here in the next couple of months. So that is why we're going to knit along. Making in the World of Tiger Lily is probably going to be shutting down soon because I got to start packing all the things up. I probably will bring you behind the curtain. My videos for the next couple of months, I really don't know how it's going to look. This quarter, this first part of the year is going to be really wonky, and I hope you are joined for get excited because you're going to see behind the curtains like you don't even know. Yesterday, if you could see behind right now, there are 4 different buckets right in front of me. I started packing. I opened up this drawer right here. Let's see. Well, no, you can't even see. Purging / donating / packing / destashing / selling / all the things. So it was funny. I was talking to Shelly and she's like, I knew why you were selling those things last week. People think you're just having a fire sale, but I know you're having a moving sale. Yes, you're right. So here in the next, I don't know, some period of time. Yesterday, I cut 35 bolts of fabric into fat quarter bundles, into half yard bundles, because I can't move it. I can't move it. The stuff I do have to move is still overwhelming. So over the next period of time, I will be creating, and right now I'm just creating them. I'm not listing anything online. Nothing new is online right now. I will have a moving sale announcement where I've bundled out of print fabrics, Tulip Pink, Tilda, Liberty, all the things, so many things that I've been holding on to, saving for the right time. Well, the right time is now. It's time for me I can't move it again. I can't move it again. So lots of things will be happening. I'll be bringing you behind the scenes as I pack. Maybe we'll do a little pack, donate, keep, sell, piles, organization. Maybe I'm not a big vlogger, but that might be what we're ended up doing because I won't have stitching to show you. Although I will still be stitching at night or knitting at night because that's how I relax and decompress and all the things. But eventually a lot of that stuff is going to get packed up. I won't be able to kit up new things because my linen boxes are already packed. That's all there is to that. So I got to stitch on the whips that I have because I can't kit up new because I've already packed my linen, and which is frustrating for me because I already wanted to kit up a new thing. But I was like, nope, there'll be time later. But I'm super, super excited. I can't wait to this. It will be a struggle. It'll be a struggle / opportunity for me to succeed, opportunity for me to grow and do new things. I'm not going to say out, I'm not going to put out into the world, into the ether, my ultimate dream of what I could do down there. Gosh, I hope I can do it. I hope I can do it. And if I do, of course, I'm going to tell you guys. But right now I'm dreaming big. I'm dreaming really, really, really big. But the first thing I got to do is I got to get there. So what I am doing is I am moving. You guys have heard me refer to the Clemson house. You know, I bought a house down there for Lily to live in when she was going to Clemson. And now that she's moved on to Columbia, that house is empty. And rather than VRBOing it or Airbnb-ing it, it is a Clemson situation. I decided, no, let's go. Let's go. No time like the present. Stop dreaming about it. Let's just do it. So I'm packing up and I'm moving. But the problem is this studio is huge. I never gave you a studio tour. And to be honest, right now, it is not tour ready. But I will probably show you once I get the things I can't show you, being like future Keeper Club fabric things. Once I get those things packed and put away and hidden, I'll probably just turn the camera around and start showing you the hot mess. You want to see some real life? Buckle up, friends. I might show you some of the things. I've already taken things off the wall, so you're not going to get the full what the studio tour looked like because it's already mid-disheveled, mid-pack hot mess right now already. But we're going to go and we're going to build a new studio, whether it's temporary, whether it's a year or two in this temporary location until I can dream big and live my dreams and do the things. I'm just so excited. I'm so, so excited. I can't wait. If you're down in the upstate, let me know. First thing, I was like, I might be there. There's a Stitchy retreat, I think, in Greenville. Stitchy Scotty, I think. I might say, I don't know if I'm going to be there by then, but it should be real close. Real close. Whether I can just like crash the party. But I don't know. Anyway, so much fun stitching. Just life. life. It's going to be crazy, but I hope you're here for the ride. If you have been here for a while, I truly appreciate you. I appreciate each and every single one of you that come back week over week to share in my making world, whether you're a stitcher, a knitter, a quilter, or just somebody who likes to listen to a random girl ramble. Thank you for being here. And so friends, until next time, which could be next week, could be on Friday, I don't know, we'll see. I could turn you around and we could start packing boxes tomorrow. We'll just give me a little bit of grace. Get ready, I'm on the roller coaster, and I hope you jump on with me and ride the ride. It's gonna be a good one. So friends, until next time, happy stitching.